Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with quite the unexpected info drop. Today we're talking about Persona 5 The Royal, and Famitsu just unleashed a barrage of details about Persona 5 The Royal, so we're going to be going over all of it today. Naturally, the original source is Famitsu, the Japanese magazine, but we have Persona Central who translated all of the important bits of detail, put into a bullet point fashion, so I will have them linked in the description down below. Let's get into the exciting stuff, starting off with some symbolism. The name of the game. The term royal comes from the desire to create a polished, extravagant title. Also, the name royal was decided early in development. Now, I find this interesting because Persona 5 was anything but unpolished. It was a fantastic game, built from the ground up. Everything functioned fine. I didn't encounter a bug. I mean, what are they talking about? They're trying to create a polished, extravagant title. Wasn't the original that? So what is the royal to them? What's more exciting though is the details on Kasumi Yoshizawa, who was originally speculated as being the femc, but is now a new addition to our party in Persona 5. Here are the bits of detail. Kasumi adds to the perspectives and flavor in the story and adds more depth to the existing characters, so perhaps relationships will be created between characters, but also she's going to add a different perspective. As we know, she's not a huge fan of the way the Phantom Thieves handle things. Kasumi was carefully implemented to naturally blend into the story, so she won't be forced. The developers were careful not to cause incongruity with her design when lined up with existing characters. So once again, sort of like what they said earlier, she's not forced. She's designed to naturally fill in some of the blanks that are in this story. As you proceed in the game, you will see a different side of her from the teaser PV. She will develop through her confidant story, so likely she will not like the way that the Phantom Thieves do things, and as you get to know her better, she'll start to maybe change her perspective. At least that's what I can tell from that bullet point there. Unlike Marie from Persona 4 Golden, for those who are unfamiliar with that, Kasumi's design was made to not appear strange alongside the protagonist, despite being iconic to P5R. Her design is straightforward, meant to evoke a classic heroine, and although her stance is not to stand alongside the protagonist, since she's a Persona 5R icon, her Phantom Thief look makes her seem like she would be paired with the main character. So that's quite an interesting bit of information there. She's not supposed to stand alongside the main character, but since she's an icon, she's such a big focus of this game, she's made to look like she's supposed to be a part of it. What we call this is a bit of interesting wordplay by Atlas. We are hyping up Kasumi, therefore they are too. Now that's not to say that she has zero story significance. For God's sakes, they centered an entire promotional trailer around her when they revealed that this game actually exists. So clearly she's going to have some significant ramifications in this story. All I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason that they're putting her side by side with the MC is because a lot of the fans of Persona are hyping her up as well, so they're going to use her to market the game even further. But overall, I'm happy that they're assuring us, yes, she will blend into the story naturally. She's not going to be forced. She's not going to ruin anything. I think that's a good sign, because some people were hit or miss on Marie in Persona 4 Golden. I personally liked it. I thought it was an interesting addition, although the poem stuff could get a little worn out.
Of course I remember, you stupid jerk-faced twerp.
I thought what she did for the main narrative was a positive, and so I'm glad that they're focusing on making Kasumi a natural addition. But Kasumi isn't going to be the only new confidant. In the confidant section, we see the confidant Takuto Baruki is a counselor and a school official who is also involved with Ryuji and An, with scenes that will show their inner feelings. I think this is really important to mention because without getting into spoilers, Persona 5 hits you really hard in the beginning with some pretty deep stuff. So seeing Ryuji and An seek out a counselor actually makes sense narratively, but it's good because it'll show more about their character. Because Maruki appears as a kind adult, the developers believe players will enjoy a different kind of fresh exchange from the confrontations with bad adults. So yeah, if you couldn't tell already, there are some bad adults in the beginning of the game. In fact, that's what the whole game really is about. So it's nice to see a different perspective. Not all adults are evil, as we all know. As you progress through Kasumi's and Maruki's confidants, different benefits will be earned, which that's standard Persona 5 stuff. You can expect that naturally with any confidant. Although, as I've returned to Persona 5 for the first time actually since it launched thanks to making these videos, there's one thing I've realized, which is that the confidants are not only so important to furthering the story, but they're very crucial to the gameplay. You're there to learn about the characters, but also part of the carrot on the end of the stick is knowing that you're going to get gameplay buffs thanks to investing your time in these characters. And I thought Persona 5 always did a fantastic job of making well-rounded characters that also provided fantastic gameplay benefits. So I wonder, in the case with Takuto, what could he offer the player? Because with Kasumi, I think it's safe to speculate that she'll go along the lines of an An or Ryuji, and the list goes on for the rest of our party, where they'll gradually become more efficient. You'll get the baton pass, you name it, it's going to be there for Kasumi because she's going to be a party member. However, when it comes to Takuto, what can he offer us? It's just something that I got my brain stuck on a little bit, so we'll see in due time. But that's one exciting part that isn't often mentioned with Confidants, is that these gameplay benefits are so helpful to the player. I do wonder what they'll tuck away for his. If I were to toss my own speculation out there, considering there's an interrogation system in Persona 5, maybe they would have some benefits because Takuto is a counselor, he's good at talking, that you would take those skills and use them during the interrogations for hunting down persona or items or money, depending on what you select during those interrogations. Just my own personal guess there. How did I think about it though? Doesn't the politician give us a bunch of gameplay benefits when it comes to the interrogation? Yeah, your guess is as good as mine at this point. If you were to ask whether there will be more new Confidants besides these two between yes and no, the answer is yes. Please wait for a follow-up. Oh my god. Oh my god.
For real?
More Confidants, more relationships in this game. That like brings a tear to my eye. I'm so excited about that because this is the best part of Persona, in my opinion. Getting to know these characters, trying to squeeze them all into a playthrough, and now we have that extra time. So it's not just these two characters, it's so much more. Thank God. Additions and changes, this is where it gets really spicy. It's not only new elements that are being added, it will be made easier to earn a good amount of experience points so that the game can be played through more quickly. Play Assist is a more advanced function than the Vox Populi mechanic from Persona 4 Golden. It will indicate a location while taking into account different parameters and the available Confidant characters with the ability to move with one button. So this is all designed, those two, to speed up your playthrough a bit, but also earning experience points. We saw this in Persona 4 Golden. They also allow you to earn more yen. So I thought this was a good change because it allows you to just do everything in the game. Furthermore, what's great about this is that it allows players like myself who have already gone through Persona 5 to go through it again at a quicker pace and get to the new content at the latter part of the game much faster. But for those who maybe don't want to take this route because it is their first time through, I imagine there is an option to disable the bonus XP. The volume of the third semester will be more than expected for those who experience the volume of Persona 4 Golden. So Persona 4 Golden only added a couple of weeks towards the end of the game. This is a whole-on semester, which is a good bunch of months, and I can imagine it slots into that January spot, but that is just my own personal guess. There are around 20 new BGM songs. 20 new songs in Persona, a new Persona game, new songs. That's all that matters. That's all you should care about. If you need to know anything about Persona, you're new to the channel, you're new to Persona, you're trying to figure out why it matters. Music. Music is the best damn thing to touch Persona. It is so fire. This is the type of music you can listen to outside the game and be like, yeah, I'm jamming out, man. Like, I'm telling you, new music in Persona, excellent news. 20 new songs, you spoil us, Atlas.
You never see it coming.
During conversations, many new illustrations have been made to make the visuals look fresh. Now, I pointed this out in the original coverage of Persona 5 The Royal on my channel, where we saw a Ryuji sprite that looked different, or as they call it, an illustration. I might accidentally call it a sprite just because of Danganronpa, but anyway, this is really good to see as well because, as I mentioned in my coverage, it gives it a fresh coat of paint. Development. Much of the game has been brushed up, except for the new characters in the third semester, so they're being transparent. That part's not done. The final portions of the game are currently in development. Other. If you have save data from Persona 5, like many of us do, you will gain some kind of bonus. There is no carrying over, however, so that's very important to note that if you are in the middle of a Persona 5 playthrough, because I did say to people, hey, just play Persona 5 if you're interested. It's as simple as that because it's a fantastic game, that you're not going to go halfway through it and then carry over your save data into the Royal, because the Royal tends to change a lot if you couldn't tell by what Atlas is saying. Also, there is a scene where the mysterious new character sleeps in the same bed with the protagonist, and if we take a look here at this screenshot, it looks like human Morgana may not have adjusted to the human body and took a little nap with our protagonist, which I gotta say, that's oof. I didn't expect that. I thought that was pretty funny. Now, I would like to show you all of the scans from the Famitsu article that was posted where a lot of this information is sourced from, but I have heard in the past that different websites don't like just full-on prints and scans of their magazines or of their articles being put onto YouTube videos. So once again, I do recommend you check out personacentral.com, who I will have linked in the description down below. Any of the new screenshots that you can acquire from this, I have tried to toss into the video, but for the most part, there are a couple of new things you can spot in these screens. Anyway, I do hope all of you enjoyed this video and found it informative. So we got new Confidants, new music, lots of brand new content coming our way. This is the hype piece I needed for Persona 5 The Royal. I was on board. You guys know me. I love Persona. I talk about it a ton on the channel about how amazing I think it is. But knowing how much additional content is coming our way, where it's really not just going to be a fresh coat of paint, but a whole new experience, that's got me pumped, man. Seriously, I'm over the moon now for this game, and I cannot wait until next year. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of Persona 5 The Royal? Is this the information you needed to get on the hype train, or were you already there? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.